Yes, thoroughbreds. Welcome back to another Penalty Broncos podcast. I am Britto, coming to you from the Bandwagon Bar. We are the number one Broncos podcast that we listen to. As you notice, if you're watching this on YouTube, I am by my lonesome. So Ringer has had to hurry up. The weather's cleared up out west. He has a very pregnant wife, and so they've decided to get to the dry end of the road where the hospital is, and they're taking their chances now by leaving a bit early. So he'll be up around my way next week, or this week and next week sort of thing. So we are hoping to get a bit of a catch up with the three of us on the next episode, which will be good. Langers has had to bail on tonight. He's got a bit of family stuff going on with the moving and whatnot, and children. As we all know, life happens. So you're going to have to deal with my voice for the entirety of this. Hopefully we can rip the Band-Aid off, as you know, not that Thursday was any better, and probably got worse right now, but we'll deal with it and we'll get through. Next week, we won't be dropping the podcast on Monday. I'm doing a bit of a family trip down to Airlie in the caravan, so I won't have any ability to edit the podcast and get it out, but we are trying to meet up Monday. We'll do our little podcast, hopefully positive spirits, always looking for positive spirits that we get the win over Melbourne, so we can talk about that. Otherwise, we'll do it all together, and we'll drop it Tuesday most likely. So just I know we normally do a bit of a chat at the start of these things about how our weeks were and whatnot. So my week's been pretty busy for those of you who are interested at work and whatnot, and around the house. Over the weekend, now I've been chasing this certain multi for a long time. I would say probably about the same amount of time that I've had a betting account. And that is to guess the over-unders of the entire weekend of a round of football. And I almost realized that dream today, and I got absolutely shafted by the Dolphins and the Titans. I got the over-unders for the Broncos, for the Warriors, Roosters, Rabbitohs, Tigers, Cowboys, Dragon Storm, Panthers, Sharks, and then it came in today. Sea Eagles, Newcastle looked like, they were romping it in at halftime there. I was like, this is, the next game, surely the next game is a shoo-in. And as every degenerate gambler out there knows, as soon as you start thinking that, life has a way of absolutely kicking you in your ass. And at over 56.5 points for the Dolphins Titans game, they just could not hold the ball. They would get down the other end of the line, of their end area, drop it. The other team would grab it, get down there and drop it. It just awful, absolute poo sling of a match. And they've absolutely robbed me of a dream. So yeah, that's how my weekend went. Not only did I suffer a loss Thursday along with all of you, I now suffered a loss right on Sunday as well. So going great. Hopefully we can get it another shot, hopefully this season. It'd be good. Now, a little bit of housekeeping at the top of the show, as we always do. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe if you already aren't on whatever you're listening. It really helps us a lot. It has been slowly growing beginning of this season, which is really good to see. Really happy with that. Make sure you leave us a voicemail. We still don't have any voicemails. The link will be in the show notes down below. We also have on our socials, we've got the link as well. So after the game, before the game, during the week, if you're feeling somewhat way about the team, you've got an opinion, you don't want to write it down or whatnot, you couldn't be bothered, hit the record button, send it in. We'll play it on the podcast, and we'll have a bit of a chat about it. Also, if you want to become a sponsor, email admin@penaltybroncos.com.au, and we will get back to you as fast as we can. All right, let's move into the game result overview. We obviously took on the Eels at Suncorp Stadium for round 2 of the 2026 season. And then 15 people were in attendance, 74% capacity there at Suncorp Stadium. First half, 20-22. Eels up by 2. Second half was a score of 12-18. They got that half as well. for a full-time score of 32-40, and another loss for our beloved Broncos. It is a little bit disappointing that the other two lads couldn't make it. They really wanted to share their opinion on what they thought went wrong. I've looked through the stats. I've got my own opinion, and I'll share that with you as well. Make sure you comment below what your thoughts are. Let us know. Get the conversation going. Hopefully it's not all doom and gloom. Possession was 47% to 53% to the Eels. Completion rate a lot better than against the Panthers, that's for sure. We completed at 75%. Still not up above that 80 where we like to see it, but we completed 28 out of 37 sets. Again, just another game where the opposition, they completed the same amount of sets that we attempted, and the Eels completed at 88%, 37 out of 42. Set meters, we had them there, 43.78 up against 36.33. And as we go through the stats, it's difficult because of the loss that we did have then. The stats don't actually replicate that. We were pretty dominant in most areas. It was just very silly errors at very critical times that let us down, and a couple of individuals as well. I'll go over them once we do get to the stats after the game review. Tackle efficiency, 89.47% up against 86.62%. So that's an area that we dominated in. We made 323. They made 259. We only missed 28 and they missed 31. It's just a 28 that we did miss at very critical times and at very critical parts of the field. We had 10 ineffective. They had 9. Errors, double-digit errors for us again, 12 versus 5 for the Eels. Penalty count was 8-3. Ruck infringements were even at 4 apiece. We got 1 on report, which we will discuss later because it's currently not on the charge sheet, so that's interesting. No sin bins. Our kick defusal was disgusting. 29% we diffused. The Eels managed 62%. It's just... There was a lot of chat in the media saying that the back five had been bombarded during training with their catching and whatnot after the Panthers game, and it sure didn't show in that one, unfortunately. Back to the drawing board there, I guess. Offloads, we got a few away this time. We had 7 offloads to 5. Played the ball speed with 3.47 seconds. Played the ball for the Eels was 3.9. So we had them there. We had a bit of more of a roll on than what they had as well, which is disappointing. Just go back to, so we know last week Ricky was the fastest with the play the ball speed. I did want to make a note of it here. The fastest in these was, Benny Hunt was 2.68, and then Jack Gosiewski, when he was on, he was actually getting a fairly good roll on. Jordan Ricky was about 3.11 seconds, so he was up there as well again. Interesting enough as well, interchange was 8 apiece as well. First time in a while that Madge has actually used his entire bench. So, we'll get into Langer's notes here. We'll run through the game as he's seen it, and if anything triggers you while I am talking, just leave the comment down below, and we can pick the conversation up there for sure. So Wyatt Raymond was the referee. Eels did kick off in the first half there. 2 minutes in, penalty to the Broncos for a high shot on Reece Walsh. Eels number 11, Kelmar Tuolagi, goes a bit high on the tackle and helps the Broncos out of their end. In the 4th minute, 5th tackle kick from Adam Reynolds sees Eels number 2, Bailey Simonson, pick the ball up but is forced dead by Ezra Mann for an Eels dropout. So positive signs early. We did look a lot better than what we started against the Panthers. We looked a lot better, actually, in the first 4 minutes than what we did in that entire game against the Panthers. So, and then in the 5th minute, try to Reece Walsh. Immediately we get the rewards there. Walsh fakes the cutout pass, fools 2 Eels defenders, steps back inside, strolls over for the first points of the game. The little general converts there, 6-0. My thoughts on this one, it goes back to what Ringer was saying in the last episode about the use of our second rowers. Jack Gosiewski was on that side. He was screaming into a hole. We also had Shibasaki out the side looking for it as well. The defenders were in three minds, I guess, and Reece just picked them apart. So it was positive signs, and it was good to see that we were going to continue with the second row stuff. In the 11th minute, after 5 minutes of back and forth footy, we see a try to Katoni Staggs. Renault sees the Eels fullback Iongi out of position, so he puts a little grubber in, which is pounced on by Katoni. He converts it again, makes it 12-0. Great little try, this one. It was really good to see. Staggs had been a little bit physical, and he sort of started the game pretty well, so it was good to see. I actually had Ricky in our best bets, if you follow along on the socials for that. So I was getting very interested that they started to come that side. Unfortunately, I'm disappointed later, and then obviously disappointed in the whole game. So in the 13th minute, an attacking fifth tackle kick from Reece Walsh sees Katoni Staggs and Eels number 4, Sean Russell, both compete for the ball on the Eels try line. They both knock it back towards the Broncos line. Jordan Ricky picks the ball up, dives at the line, and drops the ball about 30 centimetres from the try line. I was off the couch. I was like, this is great. We're not even a quarter way through the game. My best bets come off. We're winning. This is amazing. But unfortunately, when they went back to the video ref, he did drop that cold. I've seen a little bit of chat online about how he butchered it. But, it is what it is. Unfortunately, he couldn't come down with it. It is ruled an Eels knock on, though, in goal during the initial contest. So it's another dropout from the Eels, and we get it back. In the 15th minute, after that set, the fifth tackle grubber from Reece makes Eels number 1, Iongi, juggle the ball dead for another Eels dropout. So massive pressure is mounting, and we've got them right where we want them. All over the Eels is what Langers has written here, which is absolutely correct. In the 16th minute, another fifth tackle play from the Broncos sees them spread it right to Katoni Staggs with nowhere. So he just puts a bomb up. Gimat Sibasaki chases the ball but decides to let it bounce and try and bat it back before going dead. But the ball does bounce over his head for an Eels 20-metre tap. Gimat was close enough to catch that on the full. Potentially another missed opportunity to add some more points. I agree with this. I think Gimat probably should have had more of an attempt to catch it and score it himself instead of trying to do the old tap back for there. But it was a good kick from Staggs. It was good that Gimat did chase initially, considering that was an unplanned kick. So, we'll look at it that way. Cheeky stat that popped up on the screen. Tackled in the opposition 20. We are sitting at 11 with the Eels at 0. So on them like a rash, basically. In the 17th minute, penalty to the Eels for a high shot on Eels number 13, Jack DeBellin by Adam Reynolds. They get an attacking opportunity, and another stat comes up, and it was really pleasing to see this one. 17th minute in, mind you, completions. Broncos 13 out of 13, and the Eels 5 out of 5. So both teams doing well with the ball when they have it. We just have starved the Eels from having the ball for such a big amount of time in that half. A lot to do with the 6 again. It's interesting to hear what you guys think of the new 6 again rule, because I was sick of the bell last year, and I am over it this year. It's about as annoying as a whistling man with the Telstra ad, for sure. Now in the 17th minute, still try to the Eels number 11, Kelma Tuolagi. Soft defence from Ezra Mam and Jack Gos sees Kelma break the line easily, bust out of a Reece Walsh tackle to score the Eels' first try of the night. Kick converted. It is now 12-6. So we'll go back to that stat that we had before. We have completed 13 out of 13, and the Eels have only had 5 out of 5. That is a massive amount of possession that we've had, and the score is only 12-6. At the time, I did think that's a concern. We should be up more, and that was a very easy. But then I also thought that was a very easy try. That the defense from Jack and Ezra there was very lazy, and unfortunately that continues on. But I thought, well, maybe they'll tighten it up. That's the warning shot that they needed. They need to tighten it up and get in there. So we'll move on from that one. In the 20th minute, penalty to the Broncos for Eels number 20, Jordan Samrani, helps the Broncos get into attacking territory. Set ends with a kick by Ezra that is contested by Katoni and Sean Russell. Ball touches both players, goes forward, which is dived on by Ezra, and deemed a no try due to a knock on by Katoni. However, the Broncos get a penalty for an escort on Katoni by Eels number 6, Jonah Pezzett, leading up to the kick challenge. So there was a bit going on that one. Broncos opt for the 2. Bit of respect there thrown to the Eels, I guess, or we just needed a bit of a breather. Kick converted 14-6. Interesting there to go for the 2, I thought, at that stage as well. Thought we had them on the back foot and that we could have grabbed a couple of easy points. 25th minute, first incomplete set for the night by either team sees the Eels number 12, Hog, I think his name is, drop the ball on the Broncos 40-metre line. So we get another attacking opportunity, pretty in a pretty good position. 25th minute again, try to Payne Haas. Beautiful short ball from Paddy Carrigan. It was a great set of hands, soft hands. Put Haas through a hole, runs 25 metres, scores the Broncos' 3rd try of the night. This is why I thought kick converted as well. Now it's 20-6. Looks like we're humming. And this is why I thought it was a bit weird for us to go for the penalty, unless it was just for a breather. We had him on the ropes. We get an opportunity again. Paddy Carrigan, great little ball to Payne Haas, puts him away. The big man strolls over, and it looks like we're off to the races. Well, you might have seen on the socials, we put a bit of a reel up about, early crows in the group chat and whatnot, that this could be an embarrassing score again for the Eels. Unfortunately, little did we know at the time. So in the 28th minute, head clash between Jack Gos and Jack Williams for the Eels. Both players go off for a HIA. Jack passes, so the Eels Jack passes, the Broncos Jack fails, unfortunately, which brings Oblex Tafar into the fray. He slots in there on the left edge. 31st minute, try to the Eels number 9, Riley Smith. Eels number 6, Jonah Pezzett, grubbers the ball straight to Payne Hakeem Haas, who, with a rare error, spills the ball into the Broncos in goal for Riley to jump on it for the Eels' 2nd try of the night. Kick converted, 2012. Adam Reynolds hurt from the previous tackle. That's when he starts to do his with his ribs. So my thoughts on this one: very rare error from Payne. You can definitely count on your hands the amount of errors that boy has had in his career. So again, looking back on it at the time, the first try was a bit of weak defense. They got through. Sure, we'll tighten it up now. That try was an error, Bomble, kick defusal, no good. And they pounced on, and they were Johnny on the spot. We've had so much ball. We are only up by 8 points, but I feel like we're in control, and it's just ourselves that are letting us down at this point. 32nd minute, Reece Walsh kicks off after the try and kicks it dead on the full. It's just like, oh, not again. Flashbacks to round 4 against the Warriors, I think it was. Penalty to the Eels, attacking opportunity for the Eels. 33rd minute, 2nd try of the night to the Eels, number 11, Kalma Tuolungi. If you had him in your super coach, you were laughing at this point. Eels number 6, Jonah Pezzett, draws Ezra Man before passing the ball, which creates the hole for Tuolungi to run through and score. Again, we're looking down our left edge. We're looking at some weak defense. 2 errors from the Broncos result in 2 tries for the Eels inside 5 minutes. Kick converted from Mitchell Moses. Sorry, kick not converted. It's 2016, and they are creeping ever so close. We are 7 minutes from halftime, and I am praying that we can hold on to this lead, get into the sheds, recollect ourselves, and get out. Just that. If you go back and watch the try, unfortunately, Ezra does stop once the ball goes past him. And in the video review this week, I don't think that'll make for good watching. Hopefully we can get a bit of a spark and we can see a bit of a determined change against the Storm when they run out there. Be interesting to see what the team list is, to be honest, with the injuries that we did pick up. Jack Gos, obviously, with that HIA fail, he now needs to do the 11-day protocol, so he will miss the clash against the Storm. Reno, reportedly, we'll talk about it in a bit, but Reno reportedly is okay with them ribs. I don't know whether he just needs to be rested or not. We'll move on with the game, though. 35th minute, penalty to the Eels for Ben Tulty holding on too long in the tackle. Helps the Eels get out and get into attacking territory. And that results in an Eels to Isaiah Iongi. A non-existent defense from Ezra Mam allows Iongi to go through, skins Reese, and drag Shibba with him over the line. It converted. It is 22-20 to the Eels, and it was just so glaringly obvious that our left side was remarkably weak at this point. And the Eels were they'd identified it, obviously. They got Moses there. He knows what he's doing. He's probably, I would consider him to be first pick for number 7 for the Blues. And he's just going to target it all night unless we do something about it and plug that hole. Cheeky stat, in the last 10 minutes of play, tries, Eels had 3, Broncos 0. Possession, the Eels were up 85% to the Broncos 15%. They had completed 7 out of 7. We had completed 2 out of 3. And the run meters was 206 to the Eels, and we had 33 run meters in that last 10 minutes of play. And that's why I sort of want to know what your thoughts are with the whole new 6 again. We are seeing, and it's not just our games, it's a lot of the games over the weekend, we are seeing these wild shift in momentums. And you're always having a look at the Red Bull tracker, the new little graphic that they've got. Huge, massive amounts of swings in momentum with the whole 6 again thing. And I think we've overreached a little bit when it comes to it. Like, I love big thickies in the game. And, we're just going to basically tell them that they're not needed if we're going to be doing the 6 again thing, because the slow, big, immobile guys are just going to get pushed out of the game, unfortunately. In the 39th minute, last play of the half, Broncos sees, what's he got here? Last play of the half. Broncos see Adam Reynolds floats a pass over the top to Dean Mariner, who makes a break and could have potentially scored, but the ref rules Reynolds forward pass. Eels proceed to run the clock out. So, first half, Broncos are 20, Eels are 22. Langers has got some notes here. Broncos started well, but once again, errors and poor discipline are costing us. Poor defense from Ezra Mam. I won't just put it all on Ezra. I think that entire left edge, I think Shibasaki, Ezra, and Jack Gos, when he was out there, was a bit of a problem. And when Tafar went to there to plug the hole, because the two either side of him were the way that they were, he was kind of in a bit of a no man's land as well. I'll just quickly check. He had, for Tafar, he was tackling at 85% efficiency. He made 18 with 1 missed and 2 ineffective. So he was pretty solid out there when he got plugged. Ended up playing the 32 minutes or whatnot. What else we got here? Going into the sheds down after leading 20-6 is a bitter pill to swallow, 100%. And just looking at the stats here, our completion rate was still at 90%. For the second half. Eels were at 83%. We'd had 58% of the ball, 42% by way of the Eels, and we were down by 2. So that's very disappointing as well. We'd had 92 runs, made 899 metres compared to 65 runs, 671 metres to the Eels. Our post-contact metres was 264 to 190. We had 4 line breaks to 3. Just, our average set was 40.87 metres to 37.32. We were pushing them all over the field. It was pretty diabolical, as we say here. And once again, the kick defusals, though, 20%. And it never really improved much to the full time, which is disappointing. But we'll move on into the second half. Broncos kickoff. 42nd minute, Reece Walsh drops the ball uncontested after a 5th tackle kick from Mitchell Moses. Great start to the second half. A little bit of sarcasm there, I'm hoping, in the notes here. Opportunity for the Eels straight away. 43rd minute, they seize on that opportunity, and Isaiah Iongi crosses for a try. Parra spread it right. Iongi gets the ball. Shibba hesitates, and Isaiah goes over pretty easy. Kick not converted, though, 26-20. Howler of errors from the Broncos results in yet another try from the Eels. 45th minute, head clash between Ben Tolte and Oblaks Tafar. Ben goes for the HIA. Thankfully, he passes, gets back out on the field eventually. Then in the 46th minute, try to Katoni Staggs. After making 80 metres in the set, due to a break from Ezra Mam and Reece Walsh, Adam Reynolds gets the ball. He isn't able to get a kick away, so he passes to Ezra, who puts a chip over the top for Katoni to dive on. Great little try, this one. It looked like our mojo was back. Kick converted. It is now 26-all. Like I said, great little try. It was good to see. A little bit of space that we had. We made them pay, and it was good little team. Pass the ball on, get it to where it needed to be, and we got the chockies. So hopefully, I was thinking, we'll wrangle this momentum back, and it'll be on from here. In the 50th minute, penalty to the Eels for Oblaks Tafar getting a bit aggressive on Dylan Walker. Dylan Walker was, I swear, his only mission was to get out there and get underneath our skin. I don't know whether he got under his own skin, but every run, he was just absolutely howling for a 6 again or a penalty or whatnot. Loves the aggression, though. Don't love the penalty. Bit silly from Oblaks, maybe. But the opportunity from the Eels nearly ends early for the Eels, with the Eels number 6, Jonah Present, getting the ball. So it feels like the first time they didn't score off the back of a Broncos error with that one, which is fair to say. So we breathe a bit of sigh of relief there. 52nd minute, penalty to the Eels for Katoni Staggs being offside on a 5th tackle kick. Helps the Eels get out of their own end. The Eels set ends with a knock-on by Ezra Mam, resulting in an Eels scrum on the Broncos' 20-metre line. 54th minute, penalty to the Eels for the Broncos taking too long to pack the scrum. Langers has just got written here, what the fuck, poor discipline. Eels opt for the 2, kick converted. It's now 28-26. We are 54 minutes into the game. It looks like it's starting to get into a bit of an arm wrestle. And, there's not too many points from here onwards. We've still got 30 minutes of play. So, yeah, a little bit of fatigue starting to set in. 58th minute, penalty to the Eels for Katoni Staggs, upending the Eels number 6, Jonah Peasant, in a tackle. Katoni is just being his own worst enemy at this point. Aggressive from Katoni, attack of opportunity from the Eels. He's on report. And that set ends early with almost an intercept from Adam Reynolds, but unfortunately he drops the ball, so the Eels get a scrum feed and a fresh set on the Broncos 20. Cheeky stat, second half penalties, Eels 4, Broncos 0. 61st minute, try to Reece Walsh. After a strong tackle inside our 20-metre by Dean Mariner, forcing the ball loose, Katoni Staggs scoops it up and runs 50 metres to put the Broncos into attacking territory. Best thing about this here, we didn't try to force anything. Katoni dived with the ball, quick play the ball. Reece Walsh gets the ball after a couple of tackles later, puts in a little chip for himself, beats everyone for pace and scores near the uprights. Just chef's kiss, vintage Reece Walsh, doing what we all love to see him do. He looked up, he's seen that Aongi was out of position, backed himself, went for it as the confidence is that we know he's got, and got the chockies there. Kick converted, 32-28. It was a great little individual try. At the time, when he did kick it, it wasn't exactly the time to kick it. No one else knew that he was going to do it, obviously, off the cuff sort of stuff. But hey, he got there and he got the ball down. So happy days. Looks like a bit of diamonds there for Reece. In the 64th minute, Reece drops a high bomb inside the 20 metres. So there's that rocks again. Wasn't under a lot of pressure to catch the ball. Opportunity for the Eels. The set ends early with a failed intercept by Ezra Mam, resulting in another scrum and a fresh set inside the Broncos 20 metres for the Eels. So 2 intercept attempts, 2 botched. They could have gone either way as well. They could have resulted in points. So we are looking at a wildly swinging game here at this point. 67th minute, the penalty to the Eels for Shibba being offside. First tackle after the scrum, and the Eels spread it right, but the ref blows the penalty for Shibba being offside, so they repack the scrum. on the Broncos 10-metre line for another fresh set. They are targeting that left side. Cooper Gronk is in the commentary saying, run the exact same play again. What do you know? 68th minute, try to Eel, number 4, Sean Russell. Eels number 6 stabs a kick through the defensive line on the second tackle, aiming for the Fox, Josh Adokar, to get it. He tussles with Dean Mariner. Sean Russell ends up picking the ball up, diving in the corner for a try. Kick from the sideline is converted, 34-32 to the Eels. There is a cheeky stat at this point. Second half possession, 72% to the Eels. Broncos, 28%. And the second half completions, we are 6 out of 7, and the Eels are 14 out of 16. So while I guess it's the complete mirror opposite of the start of the first half, while we didn't have the ball, we were completing when we did have it. So that was interesting to see. 72% in the second half. That's a lot of possession to be trying to defend your way out of. And I know we had a couple of intercept attempts there. They were trying. So, we put the pressure on ourselves there, I guess, a bit as well. 75th minute, a bit of carnage all over the park for the Broncos. So, in the space of 2 tackles involving a lovely break from Kotoni Staggs and Dean Mariner down the right side, Kotoni Staggs ends up staying down, clutching his knee. Ezra Mann puts a chip over the top for himself, which is scooped up in goal by Eels number 1, Isaiah Iangi, who then outruns Ezra to get out of the in-goal, but Ezra pulls up limping after the chase, and Adam Reynolds is down, clutching his ribs. Reynolds is the only one out of the 3 who goes off, though. 76th minute, Ben Hunt drops the ball, in Langer's opinion, probably the most pivotal set of the night. Broncos were attacking well, gaining solid meters, and on the third tackle, Ben Hunt drops the ball, trying to break the defensive line. 77th minute, Kotoni Staggs drops the ball on the 5th tackle. Broncos were looming up the right side. Reece Walsh passes to Kotoni, who doesn't hang on to it, and Eels number 2, Josh Adokar, scoops it up, runs 20 metres to put the Eels into attacking territory. 79th minute, try to the Eels number 6, Jonah Peasant. After a set restart for a ruck infringement for the Eels, Jonah puts a little grubber through the Broncos line for himself on the 4th tackle. Reece Walsh is nowhere to be seen. Jonah actually falls over, still has time to get up, dive on the ball, sealing the game for the Eels as Reece comes jogging back into the screen. I believe the commentator was saying at the time that Reece is packed up for the night. He wants no more part in it, and he's gone home. Kick converted, 40-32, and it's full time. A little bit disappointing there with Reece out of position. I thought maybe he'd tripped as well or he'd seen something else, but great eyes up footy from Jonah there to get it through. Kind of, I guess he pulled a Reece Walsh on Reece when we look at Reece's second try. And it just ends with our third loss for the year, and our second loss for this season. Errors once again cost us dearly. Still very shaky under the high ball, still clunky at times. Reynolds and Jack Gos looking at stints on the sideline, potentially. For Reynolds, I'm not really sure. What's your opinions on that, Thoroughbreds? I think if Reynolds, especially being his last year, and with what he's done with his body over the last couple of years, I think if there's any niggles, we have the depth that we can sort of fill in and patch a hole, and he just needs to rest and get his body right. I'm worried about him going down to Melbourne. Maybe Thomas Duffy will end up on the bench, or potentially Moser will be on that extended bench to cover. But if he goes down, is it worth it trying to mix and match on the fly during a game, or do we just train how we're going to play during the week? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. Playing the Telstra whistle ad right after a loss in Suncorp. Were they planning for fights to break out? Fuck that ad and fuck the whistling dog is the words from Langers there. Bit of silver linings here though. When we held onto the ball and completed our sets, we looked like a dominant team. We were pumping them in the first 20 minutes. Flashes of brilliance from Walsh. Staggs, still on showcase. We got to see what Jonah Peasant will bring to the Broncos next year. He got outplayed down in Melbourne in the first round, but he certainly stepped it up against us, which was it was pleasing to see, to say the least. So The boys will have to do a lot of training this week if they are planning on putting up a fight and possibly winning against the Storm on Friday night. What are your thoughts on that? That's the game review. Not the way that we wanted to start this season, that's for sure. We'll get into the NRL Player of the Game as voted by you guys. And that's the Hot Shot NRL Player of the Game, brought to you by Hot Shot Fire Services. When it comes to protecting your business, you want a team that responds fast and gets the job done right. And that's exactly what you get with Hot Shot Fire Services. From fire equipment installation and servicing to compliance and safety checks, they make sure you're covered when it matters most. Just like a clutch player stepping up in the big moments, Hot Shot Fire Services deliver when the pressure's on. Now, we'll get into the naming of it, and it was extremely close. A lot of names got put up straight after the game. There was Dean Mariner got thrown up. Haas obviously got thrown up. Carrigan, he went beast mode again, topped the tackle count. Even Reynolds got a cheeky little mention there. But the two that were dominant were Katoni Staggs sealing a double, having some big moments, and Reece Walsh obviously having a double as well and having a couple of big moments there. And then when we put it to a vote, out of, I think it was 54 votes in total across all of our pages, Reece ended up with 51% of the vote. So he is our Hot Shots NRL Player of the Game. Played 80 minutes, 2 tries for 8 points, 15 runs for 222 metres with 33 post-contact and 7 tackle breaks. So 14.8 metres per run and 2.2 post-contact metres per run. He ended up with 1 line break, 1 offload, 5 tackles, 1 missed, 0 ineffective for 83.33%. Unfortunately, he had 3 handling errors though, which I guess, I don't know. Is that just the Reece that we expect? I do. I certainly expect to see him with a couple of handling errors. The amount of times that he gets his hands on the ball and where he gets it as well certainly plays into that factor. But we'll get into some stats here. So, most tackles. Carrigan had 43. Jack Williams that is, for the Eels, 37. Most run meters was Walsh with 222, which is a game high as well. Iongi had 174 for the Eels. Most line breaks, Reynolds got 2, and the Eels managed 2 people for a total of 2, so 1 apiece. Reynolds had 12 points for us. Most post-contact meters was Haas with 71, and I just want to shout out to Karapani. Last week, he took out the Hot Shots player, and he had a mountain of post-contact meters. This week as well, he had 50. So he was only 21 meters behind Haas, but he is certainly pumping out, bending the line there, which was good. Amundsen for the Eels had 57 post-contact meters. Most runs was Walsh at 15, and Iongi had 16. So out of all the stats so far, this is the first stat that we've come across where the Eels have bested our player, and it was by 1 run. Haas had 4 offloads by himself. He got the arm free again. The Eels managed 5 offloads over 5 people. Most tackle breaks was Walsh with 6 and Tuolungi with 8. We'll look at the stats here for the back line. So Walsh, Karapani, Staggs, Shibasaki, and Mariner. Obviously, there was the 2 tries there. So the back line scored the majority of our points with 16. Reece topped with 15 runs, as we mentioned before. Karapani had 13. Shibasaka and Staggs both had 10 apiece. Karapani post-contact meters when it comes to the back line was stellar. Had the 50. I'm looking at a lot of white on my stat sheet here when it comes to line breaks, line break assists, and try assists, and the offloads. Just not a lot going on there with the back line. Tackle breaks, Walsh obviously had the amount that he had, and then that was really, he was the only threat when it came to tackle breaks. Everyone else had 1 or 2. Staggs had 4, and that comes about with his 2 tries. It was good to see that Karapani, Staggs, and Mariner were all 100% tackle efficient. So 0 missed, 0 ineffective for those guys. Shibasaki, he made 8 tackles and missed 5. It was just a horrid night out for Shiba, unfortunately. He's kicked 7 times for 241 metres. Had the most errors. Shout out to Karapani and Shibasaki. Sorry, just Karapani is the only one with the clean sheet when it comes to errors. Shiba had an error. Mariner had 2. Sorry, Mariner had an error, which was a handling error. And Stags had 2 handling errors with and 2 penalties. So not a good night out for himself. In the halves, Ezra Mam, Adam Reynolds, Corey Pakes. What have we got here? So Ezra topped the run meters there with 90. Post contact went to Renault, the little general getting about his work there for a little bit. Tackle breaks was Renault was 5. That was pretty good. Tackle efficiency were 92% for him as well. Ezra sitting at about 85%. 22 tackles, missed 4. They were just at really crucial times, unfortunately. And he made 2 errors as well with 1 penalty. To the forward pack, the engine room, Corey Jensen. It was good. I want to note this as well, and I made sure I thought about it during the game. It was good to see Jensen getting into more work. He obviously had a quiet England game where he suffered that HIA in the opening minutes, and then he only ran 3 times last week. So I was worried that he was carrying a bit of an injury, that he might have flared up, but he was back to his normal best. This week he had 14 runs for 163 metres, 38 post-contact, and 1 tackle break. Tackling was all right, 88%, 37 tackles, 2 missed, 3 ineffective, and he had a clean sheet when it came to the errors. So good to see Jensen back to his consistent best there. Payne Haas just lights up the stat sheet that I've got in front of me here. Hopefully one day we can figure out how I can get this up on the screen so you guys can look at it too. But he had that 1 try, obviously, 17 runs, 184 metres, 71 post-contact. He had 1 line break, 1 line break assist. He had 3 tackle breaks, 4 offloads, and the big man, just 100% tackle efficiency, 26 tackles, 0 miss, 0 ineffective. Couple of errors. He had a ruck infringement and a handling error. But when you're putting up stats like he did, you can forgive that for sure. Jack Gos only played 27 minutes. But in that 27 minutes, unfortunately, he was running at a tackle efficiency of 67%. 6 tackles he made, he missed 2, 1 ineffective. So, like, when we put that up against Shibasaki at 62%, and Ezra was at 85%, so he was the better one there, but 62% and 67% is just really not good enough. You're going to get sniffed out straight away. So hopefully they can go back, reassess that, and they can come out a lot stronger when it comes up against the Storm. Jordan Ricky got about his work again. I know he bombed the try. 8 runs, 71 metres, so a little bit down there. I would like to see, obviously we'd love to see Geordie do double figures when it comes to runs and triple figures with his run metres. 92% tackle efficiency though, 34 with 1 missed and 2 ineffective. Made a couple of errors there, had a penalty against him as well. Carrigan didn't really, I don't know if he stood out to you guys during the game, but he just quietly got through it. 16 runs, so 1 behind Haas. He had 128 metres, 41 post-contact. He had a line break assist with Payne there, obviously, and a try assist. 96% tackle efficiency, 43 game high, with 2 missed, 0 ineffective, and he just had the 1 ruck infringement. To the bench, we had Ben Hunt, played 33 minutes. Xavier played 58. Ben Tolte, 26. And Alex Tafar played 32. So Willison, he topped most of the stats here for the bench. He had 9 runs for 80 metres, 28 post-contact, 92% tackle efficiency. He had 33 tackles, 2 missed, 1 ineffective. And he got the 1 ruck infringement as well. Yeah, interesting stats there. What do you guys make of any of that, of what I've said there, or have you picked out a stat that you've seen? Let us know, and we can discuss that as well. We'll just do a little bit of overall stuff here now, just team-wise. I've circled a bit here. So Renault is he's topping the points at the moment with 12. Then we've got Payne, all runs, he's on 31. which was then we've got Carrigan, and then we have Karapani. So they round out the top 3 for our all runs. When it comes to all run meters, Karapani takes that one out with 316 meters in total. This is season wide as well, with the first round, second round collective, and we'll just compile these as we go throughout. Corey Jensen, interesting enough, kick return meters, 105. Always bringing up the tough carry off the kickoff there. I'm sure that stat will start to drop off, and Corey will start to, as we hopefully get a bit more kick return meters with our kick defusal. It's really outlining how bad our kick defusal is, that our forward has the most kick return meters purely because he takes the first hitter when we restart play. Karapani has 91 and Reese has 99. Mariner has 23. Stags has 0. So yeah, we need to really pick that up. Payne has the most post-contact meters of 123. And then what else do we have here? Mariner. Well done to Mariner for 100% tackle efficiency so far in the season. Good on him. But yeah, Reese is leading the tackle breaks. Payne, once again, no surprise, leading the offloads, which is interesting to see. We'll get into a bit of negative stuff here. Obviously, Carrigan is topping our tackles. He's made 88 so far this season. Negative play, leading the way, obviously, is Reese with his errors and handling errors. And then we have Katoni Staggs with the penalties. So Staggs just out there being an absolute pest at the moment. Dean Mariner, shout out to him as well for leading the tackle breaks for the team. He is on 4. So we've had a 13+ loss. We've had a 1-12 loss. Hopefully, with the pattern continues, maybe we'll go a 1-12 win, and then we can go a 13+ win. That'll be absolutely spectacular. At the moment, we are looking at a for and against of -34 to start the season. We are not on the bottom of the ladder, but we are not far from the bottom of the ladder. Still 15th. Cowboys and Titans are below us. Doesn't look good. Okay, we've got a video here from the Gronk. He's sent his to Bob in, so we will give him a listen. See what he's got to say for himself.
G'day, boys. In all honesty, I was going to come on here tonight and fucking really rip the boot into yous, but to be fair, at least you can say that yous were good for 20 minutes. Like, I can't even claim that, so I'm just going to take my medicine, admit that my club is absolutely fucking capitulating, and just take it on the chin, I guess. One thing I will throw up, what's Kevy doing? Is he busy? Does Fox really need him? He'd probably be a good fit for us, so might give him a call this week. See you, boys.
That's a good shout. Wave the white flag for the Cowboys. Bring in Kevy. See how he can go. But no, so on coaches, we might as well talk about it. After the Manly game today with the Knights and the Cowboys game against the Tigers, surely these journos can get off Madge's back. I know that we're still, 0-2, and we are the reigning premiers, but surely they can start looking at the other coaches who actually need to have questions thrown at them when it comes to Seabold and Todd Payton. I can't see either of those guys, if the teams keep displaying stuff like that, unfortunately, it does look like they will be without a job. The trouble is who do they get replaced by? I mean, Gronk's brought up Kevy Walters in. I don't know if Kevy's keen to go back to clubland. I know he's got the Australian gig. I'm pretty sure he continues that into the World Cup, sorry. But it would be interesting to see how we are treated in the media this week, especially with the injuries and whatnot that we have. Certainly some questions. I mean, yeah, they need to ask the questions. We've brought that on ourselves. So hopefully we can put in a performance that, even if we don't win, just silences them a little bit. We have a little bit of grit and a little bit of determination. So let us know what you think about that in the comments as well. We'll move forward onto the week ahead. So men's injuries and suspensions. Billy Walters obviously still sitting out with that ACL. He'll be back round 20. Jack Gos has the 11-day concussion protocol. He'll be back in round 4. Let me just... Yep. Back in round 4. Brendan Piacora, he is supposed to be back this week. So with Jack Gos going out, I think they did this a few times last year as well. Like one was injured and the other one just so happened to come back from suspension or injury and slotted back in. So be interesting to see if Brandon slots straight back into his old jersey if he is named this round. And then Adam Reynolds, I've got down here rib cartilage, rest and needled and whatnot. But they did say in the broadcast today, and there has been a bit of chat online, that he is right to go. They'll keep him on cotton wool during the week, and then he will play against Melbourne, or it's expected that he'll line up. I don't know if that's mind games or not, just to get a bit of pressure off Thomas Duffy if he is to be named in that number 7. But there is a couple of scenarios that could happen here. We could just rip Reno straight out, rest him on the pine. We'll throw Duffy straight in, and we don't have to do any changes to the rest of the team. I think, personally, that would be the best way to go. Or Ben Hunt can go into number 7. We bring Moser in for Ben Hunt on the bench there. And then Pakesy and him just swap out as Hunt and Pakes were doing as well. So that's another one that we could do. But either way, we're changing our 7, obviously. Just least disruption to everything else is where I'm coming from. So let us know your thoughts on that one as well. I've still got Hayes up on the casualty ward there of the Broncos, so I don't really know what's going on there. I'm almost confident that that is a mistake. And then when it comes to the judiciary, it doesn't look like Katoni Staggs is listed on the charge sheet at all. So with that tackle that he did on Pezzett, I think he might have got out of it pretty scot-free. So we'll watch this space. We'll see what comes out of it on Monday. For the game preview, we will be down at Amy Park at 7 o'clock Queensland time Friday night. We'll take on the Storm. Head-to-head, since 1998, we have played the Storm 60 times with 1 draw. 16 times we've won at 27%, 43 times to the Storm. They are absolutely our bogey side. We are sitting 15th on the ladder, and they are sitting first, I believe. Yeah, they got it first. So their points differential is plus 74. Warriors have a plus 58. Panthers a plus 46. Wins this season, obviously for us, 0. Storm are undefeated. And I've got some little gambling stats here, as we always like to do. So the head-to-head, the 13 pluses and the 1 to 12. Before our game on Thursday, we were heavy favourites. $1.62 head-to-head to $3.82. Then after the game on Thursday, we shot from $1.26 to $2.67. The Storm came in from $3.82 to $1.47. And the biggest swing was probably the 13 plus. So we were $1.97 for 13 plus. We went out to $7. The Storm were $11.50 and they have come in to $2.55. Massive swing. And at the moment, our head-to-head is $2.67, $1.48 to the Storm. 13 plus, we're at $7. They're at $2.55, as I just said. And then the 1 to 12, we are $3.75 and they are $3. So if we are to win this, the bookies have us at 1 to 12. If the Storm are to win, they've got them at 13 plus. Last time we met was obviously in the grand final, 2025 at Suncorp Stadium. We beat them 26-22, 5 tries to 4. We have so far this season lost to the Panthers, lost to the Eels. They are win to the Eels, win over the Dragons. So will be interesting to see how we run out. They will be taking this obviously very seriously, being a grand final rematch. They will be out for redemption. Let us know how you think the game goes. And we will move on to our tipping and our super coach. Bit of a quick episode here for you today, Thoroughbreds, me being the only one speaking. The ladder after round one of our tipping comp was Jason Ward first, sitting there with 6 tips. A Slippery Gypsy, which is your very own Langers, was sitting in 5th. He had a very good weekly margin of 6 there. Thunderwolf, Nia, had 5 tips. Psycho, which is Becky, on 5. And then Penalty Cowboys, Justin, sitting in 5th place there. So that's the top there on 5 as well. So that's the top 5 for the tipping comp. This week, it looks like Shem, our mate over at Rugby League Daily, he's hit the Joker early. I don't know if that was a great play. He seemed pretty confident if you're doing that. Second round in, he only managed 4 out of 8. So he got 8, and that's the only reason why he's won this week. Closely followed behind him, our own Ringer got 7 out of 8 tips. So Sham, you nearly got beaten. You played your Joker, and you only got beaten by 1. You only won by 1 point, mate. Ringer was coming for you. He had a 32 margin, though. And then Langers, again, comes in with 6 out of 8 with a margin of 12. So he's the only person in the tipping comp with a margin in the teens still. Everyone else is blowing it out of proportion. I think I'm sitting at about 60 or something like that. So absolutely disgusting. Gronk managed 4 out of 8. We've already mentioned Langers and Ringer there, and I ended up with 5 out of 8. So a little bit better for myself. Wasn't looking good there, I can tell you, Saturday. My Lord, I'd missed the Broncos tip, obviously. Didn't get anything Friday night. So thankfully picked up a few late. It's good to see. Supercoach competition. Very, very good to some people who are in, I think we had 6. We've got 6 in the top 10,000 in our league. Shout out to Broncos 1326, Harry. He's sitting 319th in the competition at the moment. It's absolute excellent errors. I'll see if I can find. So free ballers, the Cross 13, Ron Stoppables, Ruck Me Daddy, and Elsie's Echidnas are all sitting in the top 10,000. So what have we got there? Yeah, we've got 6 there. So good stuff. Excellent stuff. I'll see if I can. Yeah, that looks good. Some great numbers in there. It's really good to see. Silky Slugs. So Kirid takes out round 2 with 1,457 points. The Cross 13, Mitchell, 1,433. This might change a little bit by the time this is dropped as well. I don't think that updates have happened from the last game. Fat Nuts, David scored 1,407, and Moses Playbook, Terry, 1,406. So that's our top 4. Last week, our top 5 were credit to the buyers, Purple Rain, Free Ballers, Ron Stoppables, and Bronx Nation. I went up against Lauren in her Bronx Nation league and got clapped. I can tell you that. She ended up scoring 1,348, and I was 1. So good play there. Gronk was a respectable 1,357. Langers 1,295. Ringer 1,169. He got burnt by Ponga going down. So panic stations. I haven't actually heard from our mate at the United here. He might be in a bit of a straitjacket sort of situation. I think over 25% of their cap left the field in the space of 10 minutes. I said before I had 1,261, and the penalty Broncos team, full of Broncos, ended up scoring 922. So pretty good areas there, really. Would be good to see a little bit going on there. I need to actually check our best bets to make sure if something got up, but I don't think it did because it's looking like we don't have any extra money in the account. Nah, no return. So none of our best bets got up. That included a David Fafita anytime, a Jordan Ricky anytime, Broncos 13 plus from Langers, and a Herbie Farmworth from Ringer. Didn't even get over in that game at $1.71. That means the Bronco bet went down. what do we end up with here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 out of our 18 legs on the Hail Mary got up, but unfortunately we took an L on that one as well. General league, so anything before we wrap up here? It is interesting that Carrigan is open to the PNG move, especially knowing that him and Shiba are mates, and he has obviously publicly spoken as well that he is also open to going up to Papua New Guinea. So that is an interesting watch. They are mates. Carrigan did get Shiba down to the Broncos for last year. That's well documented. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that, whether it's just, I don't know why we do this to ourselves. Surely the lads, with the amount of media scrutiny that we get, why they would be saying that sort of stuff. I know. Anyway, it just adds a heap more onto us. We've got the signing of Mitch Barnett. Interesting to see who we do the player swap with. Things like Jordan Ricky, Jesse Arthurs, Verhoeven, the young winger, have been spoken about. So it will be interesting to see who the Warriors get in exchange for Mitch Barnett. I know they aren't looking for a forward. So the likes of Ben Dakura, VJ Semu and all that are pretty safe. They did sign, or it's reported that they have signed Will Warbrick, so it will be interesting to see. They did sign AKP from the Titans last year as well, so it'll be interesting to see what their appetite is for any position, really, and where they're looking at the moment to try and pick it up. So I'm happy with the Mitch Barnett signing for the amount of money, and we did clear it up after our post on the socials. He is on about 800,000 a year. There is a third-year club option in his contract that would then take that sum to 2.4 million total. So 800,000 a year in this salary cap. He's 32. He will have a year under his belt when it comes to coming back from that ACL injury. The second year is always, with them big boppers, the second year is normally the case where they do get better. So it will be interesting to see how he goes this year and hope that he does better next year. But yeah, I'm happy with it. A little bit of an older head in there as well. It's not a replacement for Payne. Never will be. Payne is a one in a kind. They broke the mold when they made him. So I think it's all about just getting our depth right, getting our salary cap right. I am very interested in this VJ Semu coming through. He is a massive thickie. So I think there is a world where maybe Jensen, I don't know. I like Jensen. He's very Mr. Consistent, but does he drop back to being a depth player or on the bench? And we have Mitch Barnett running the forward pack with the VJ Semu next year or something like that. So it'll be interesting to know as well if you want to put your comments down for that one. And that's basically us for this episode. So like I said, next week, we will try and get one out. Hopefully it's on brighter terms, but it will be a day late. We'll be dropping it Tuesday if we do get through it. So hopefully if everything lines up, the stars align and all that, we'll actually be filming our podcast with everyone in the same room. So that will be a different and a very interesting vibe as well. So hopefully we can bring that one for you. Like I said, that's all from us. Let us know your thoughts there. Who's got the shittest take? I know we went through Langer's notes there and whatnot. Ringer wasn't here, but just let us know what your thoughts are on our opinions that I've voiced today. Head over to our socials on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads. If it's there, we probably are there. So look us up. We're on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. I have noticed that you guys are listening to us on a bunch of others. So reach out as well if you want us to start directly uploading to other places, and we can definitely give it a look at. I like our post costs you guys nothing, so please do it. It's free and easy and helps us greatly. Comment gives us motivation. The chat around some of the stuff we've been posting and the engagement, I guess, that everyone's been having has been awesome to see. We love it. Sharing our content introduces the page to others, obviously. Get your voicemails in, get your tips in, and make sure your super coach teams are up to date. Panic trading this round, I'm sure, with the round 3 price increases occurring week after. So make sure you're up to date with that. Bet responsibly, bet for fun and not for the rent. Keep pushing through. Make sure you keep that black dog at arm's length. Be a contributor to society. Take those breaks for yourself when you need them, for sure. Remember, you matter, and that's all that matters, thoroughbreds. We'll have a great week. You do the same, and we'll see you in the next one.
I can't speak.